Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Highlight Her.
Welcome to the She Means Business Master Society podcast, where we empower entrepreneurs to thrive in their journey. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of entrepreneurship. We've faced our fair share of challenges, and that's why we've created this space. Here, we will connect with incredible guests, key figures in their fields who have navigated the ups and downs of their entrepreneurial careers. Together, we will share our experiences, insights, and tools that can help you elevate your business to new heights. So, get ready to be inspired, motivated, and equipped with the knowledge you need to succeed. Let's jump into today's episode. Comenzamos.
I have a very special guest today, Miss Bre Workman. We're going to get to know her a little better. Yes, hello. Thanks for joining us. And remember that we are here on behalf of She Means Business, right? That's the Master Society. So we are also looking for women entrepreneurs that are out there that have a story to tell. So if you do have a story that you want to share to just empower and encourage other women, there's an application process, and we're looking for you to continue to push that movement. So for today, hello, Miss Bre. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Thank you for coming in. So I know that you have been an amazing athlete here in Las Vegas. You were able to do some things collegiately on that basketball level, and we want to talk about those things today. But yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
So my name is Bre Workman. I coach basketball. I'm a mentor, and I also lead a nonprofit organization that helps young girls through their entire process. So most people think we're just athletes, but we're not. We're whole people, and we're individuals first. So we really look at our mental game, and then mastering life, different challenges in life, and then how we can push that over to basketball and master the game.
I love that because I think as athletes, we go and we give our life to this sport for so long, and we become competitors in that arena. And then sometimes we don't have a mentor to tell us, hey, how does that journey look like? And we can beat ourselves up, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more how Master the Game, that's the name of your organization.
Yes.
How did that start?
So I was coaching in college after I graduated because I really liked the time of your life, like 18 to 24 range, being in college, everything that you go through, because you really need support. You're going through relationships, you're going through navigating your sport, and just growing as an individual. And then I realized none of these girls were prepared for this moment either, including the ones that are really good at basketball. There are things that we just don't know how to navigate.
Right.
And I want to kind of get in front of it so you don't have to go in blind.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, if I can hit the grassroots level of kids in elementary and middle school and high school and kind of give them an idea at least, because I was just talking about this earlier, no matter what the challenge is, you cannot be prepared enough. You're still going to hit that challenge, and you're going to have to figure it out for yourself.
Sure.
But if I can give them some tools and resources to kind of say, okay, this is what it might look like going into it, then they can kind of have an idea and be prepared, at least mentally, and have a little comfortability and like, okay, she told me that this was going to happen, and she also gave me tools to kind of help me along the way.
That's amazing. So how long, when did you establish Master the Game?
2022.
Okay, so
Yeah.
recently. And how is that going? How are you seeking out athletes? What does that look like for you?
So again, I coach basketball, so I'm in touch with so many girls, but I also want to take this beyond, just Nevada. So we work with college girls. There are some girls at UNLV, Alyssa Brown, who I've worked with in the past. She's great. And I knew her prior to her being at UNLV. We had a connection because I played at Arizona in Tucson, University of Arizona. I'm a Wildcat. Go Cats. And
Shout
so I knew her before that. And so when she got to UNLV, I'm like, this is perfect. Like, if I can help girls on all these different levels and connect with them, and then, they talk about it to their friends, I'm like, we need to really hit this mental side of the game because no one really talks about it or tells you. They may tell you that you need to figure it out, but they don't tell you how.
Sure.
So word of mouth and our Instagram mainly, and just trying to get out into the community and just show ourselves.
That's amazing. So you're on Instagram?
Yes.
And then you coach. Where do you coach at?
So right now I'm coaching at Centennial High School.
Nice.
Yes.
That's a great program.
Yeah. Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.
And then, sorry, you were going to say something else.
And then also, I was just going to ask, was there like a moment whenever, I know you mentioned Alyssa, but in conversation, because I know I've had a lot of like those types of conversations as well, right? How there's a big focus on training and shooting and repetitions on the physical side, but that mental side of an athlete isn't really talked about. So was there a moment or a conversation where you were like, dude, I need to really start helping some of these young girls with this?
Just understanding my own struggles, and then now being a coach and being in a different like perspective, I'm like, okay, so a lot of girls struggle with confidence, and understanding that process of growth really takes a long time. Like, you have to be down for planting this seed, and you may not see it for a year or 2 years.
Right.
You don't really know when that's going to click for you. So having that confidence to still do the daily work every single day. So like, for example, we have something called commitment cards, where, you know, we take it little by little, not really looking at the big picture. So daily, if you have 3 different things that you wanted to work on as an individual, if you wanted to get your ball handling better, if you want to have a better routine in the morning so you can have a better day, or maybe you don't drink enough water, things like that, you'd write it on your commitment card. Okay. And every single week you return to that and carry it with you throughout the day. So it's kind of like a reminder. Okay. And then every month, you just kind of look back on it. Are these things that I need to do better at? Okay. And then again, you're committed to the process essentially, and you can adjust that to whatever your needs are. And then you kind of take that, among other tools that we have as well, and you end up seeing the growth over time.
I love that. I think we all need commitment cards. I could probably use some commitment cards for sure. I'm like, yep, I probably should drink more water. I probably should pray a little bit more.
Yeah, but you have to be intentional about it. That's the important part.
And that's all part of your curriculum?
Yes.
Okay. So how, if I'm a young girl and I want to sign up for, Master the Game, what does that process look like?
So you can either DM us. Our Instagram is MasterTheGameLV. Okay. And then you could also email us, shehoops@masterthegamelv.org. Okay. That goes directly to me, and I do one-on-one sessions. We can do group sessions with teams. We can help coaches. Sometimes if they don't want to bring me in and they want to keep it in-house, I can coach coaches on how to train their kids' mental game and things like that. So
that's amazing. Yeah. And so I know whenever we were chatting, you were saying that one of the things that inspired you to start Master the Game was your own experiences, right? So let's talk to little Bre.
Yes.
Okay, so like as far as when it started, like where you grew up and how that evolved, and then what it looked like for you as an athlete, and then even to how you got to today.
Okay, so first and foremost, I'll say, like, I do this for my brother. My brother, his name's Darnell Lindsay. He passed away when I was 16.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's a lot, but it's a part of the process.
Okay.
So you have to trust it.
When you were 16 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old was he?
He was 24, so very unexpected. And at that point, I was 16 years old, playing here in Vegas at Centennial, and it was in like the core of our season. Sure. We usually play at Nike tournament every year. It's one of the big tournaments in the country. And so it happened in the middle of that tournament. And, you're trying to be in the moment, present in what you're doing, and something like that occurs. And my mom had to leave me and fly out to figure out that situation. And so from that point moving forward, basketball was different for me. That was the person that inspired me to hoop. Wow. And now he's struggling and fighting for his life. So it inspires me on so many levels, but I struggled with it for a long time. Sure. Not only like dealing with how to grieve, but also how do I take the emotion out of it sometimes when I'm playing. Because I had a hard time. Sometimes they say let that fuel you. Yeah. But anytime I thought about it, it took me out of my game. And I'm like, wait, that doesn't work for me. Yeah. So what do I need to do? And I realized I need to focus on the task at hand and just be me. Sure. And if I live in my purpose, then I honor him And I know that he's looking down on me. He's happy for me right now.
Absolutely.
So,
I love that, living in your purpose.
Yeah.
And I definitely believe that too, that the best way to honor our loved ones that have passed is to live our best life,
Yep.
right? Because I know they would want us to continue to thrive, right? They wouldn't want us to be sad. So I love that you took that experience, and you are, right? You're not only just living your best life, you're teaching young girls how to go through other experiences just like that on that mental side. I think that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, that's very good. So you were at Centennial, then where did you go for college?
So I went to the University of Arizona, and then there I dealt with things that were off the court. So most people think I'm just going to go to, college and I'm going to live my best life, have a great time, socialize, hoop, and this is just going to be great. And it was not like that for me. There were so many things off the court that I had to deal with as far as relationships and connecting with my teammates, and being away like from my mom, and just things I went through as a young woman. And no one talks about those things.
Right.
They just say focus on basketball and focus on your education and then I'll be fine. But they don't tell you that if you're not right within yourself and you don't know yourself yet, then you won't be able to be the best basketball player. You won't be able to be the best daughter, or, things like that. So it was during that time where I struggled a lot within myself. Yeah. And then coming out of college, I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to help mentor girls, because I had a assistant coach at the University of Arizona that was the mentor for me. She was really the only one that I felt like I could open up to at that point in my life. And she helped me kind of have perspective. And then from there, I'm like, I want to be that for other young girls.
What's amazing, the power of mentorship, right? I like to sometimes say womentorship because we're women. But I think that's awesome that, you, like you said, that I think women in general, right? Whenever you graduate high school and you go off to college, that there's this season of who am I now? Right? You are detaching yourself from your home, from your friends, from who you are. And then you add that layer of having to play basketball and perform at an elite level with a bunch of other women that you've never even really met. Like you said, there's a lot of glorification on that side where, oh, good job. But then you get there and it's like nobody talks about the dark side of that, right? And so for you, you said not knowing yourself, right? What would you recommend, or what were some of the things that you talked to yourself to say, like, okay, this is who Bre is, and how you can maybe mentor some other young girls of like walking through that?
Well, first and foremost, I think God was really big.
Amen.
I went back to him when things got tough and things got hard, and I listened to his voice, kind of what takes me through life right now. Like when I hear his voice and I follow his path, then I'm in the space that I'm supposed to be in. And it feels different. And you can tell, like he's leading me into the right direction. And then second, just staying committed to what I want. It's really hard because you have all these different things kind of pulling you in different directions and you don't really know where to go. But you have to have that confidence in yourself and do things on a daily basis to where I can say, okay, I trust myself. I know every single day when I wake up in the morning, I eat breakfast. In the little things, like I'm drinking my water, I'm working out, I'm networking with my coaches. I go, like for college players, one thing that I should have done was go into their office more, because once I started to do that, I'm like, oh, these coaches are real people. Like they're not just my coach. They're not just in the practice yelling at me. Like they have lives too. They have struggles too. Like they were once in my position. So when you do that and you like open up yourself to other people, then you kind of start to learn and you don't feel so alone in the world.
Absolutely. I love all of that, and I think, like you said, as far as like finding your identity is going to that coach, right? And saying, okay, I do need some insight. I do need some influence. I can be mature enough to make decisions and take information and process it, but I need someone to help pull me along. And I think that's exactly what you're doing.
It's hard and it's vulnerable.
Yes. Oh, that word, vulnerable.
Yeah, it's vulnerable. So hard to be vulnerable.
Yes. So, and I'll kind of compound that. What does vulnerable look like for you?
For me, asking for help.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I think being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Okay.
So if you can operate in the space of, I don't know what's going to happen, but I have faith in what I'm doing, and you can still push forward, things will work out for you. Yeah. But if you kind of operate from fear and you're hesitant and you're scared to put yourself out there, then you're like telling yourself, and in the back of your mind, it's not going to happen, because you're going to unconsciously do everything to make it not happen. So it's like that self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah. So if you can feed yourself good things, then good things will happen. Yeah. Like I tell even the girls that I coach, I'm like, whatever energy you put out there is the energy you're going to get back. Absolutely. That's just how it works.
Well, I love what you were saying, though, too, about like what you're feeding yourself, right? Because I think, even when we talk about metaphors and parallels, when we say feed yourself, you think food, right? Okay, which is still important on that physical side. I have to eat healthy. But then what do you feed yourself mentally? Yeah. Right? And that's what you're talking about as far as what input, what am I reading? What am I praying? Who am I speaking to that's coming into my life? And what am I feeding my brain? Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I talk about with my boys a lot. I'll shout them Jason Jacks again. I got to do the mom, and we'll talk about, because we're both moms, right? But I asked, I remember when they were growing up, I was like, who do you talk to the most? And they were trying to be cute, and they're like, you. And I'm like, oh, you're adorable. You do not talk to me the most. And they're like, God. I'm like, okay, that's a close second.
Closer, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, no, but you talk to yourself. Mm-hmm. Like constantly. Yep. We have a dialogue within ourselves all the time, right? And so, like you said, what are you feeding yourself? What are you telling yourself, right? What is the story that you are giving yourself? And like you said, if it's, I'm negative and this isn't going to work out, guess what? It's probably going to happen. Yeah. Exactly. And I think that's great that you're like teaching that because no one taught me that. How you talk to yourself is like probably the outcome that you're going to get, right?
And also the people you keep around you. I think your circle, everyone says you're just the closest 5 people to you. That's probably who you're going to be. And I think that's big too, because everyone has moments of insecurities and they have moments in their life when they need that reminder. So it's definitely not all you. You have to have help, and you have to have people that have your back. Right. So those are the people that are going to lift you up when you need it to. So that circle is really big as well.
Absolutely. So we'll shift gears a little bit since I shout out my kids. I know that you just had a baby kind of recently. Baby's name, how old, how is that transitioned or elevated your work habit or your purpose and your motive? What does that look like for you?
So my cute little nugget, his name is Kason Gray. He's about 15 months now, so he's a little over 1 year now. Okay. And it's so fun, like motherhood. I love it, but it's also so challenging at the same time.
Amen. Yeah.
So it's been difficult for sure. Like, I'll be honest, it hasn't been easy. Sure. But seeing his growth and also my growth, like what I thought motherhood was going to be up until now, and then having a business and having athletes that I want to still impact and those types of things. So like I said earlier, it's been God taking me through this whole process. Okay. So and women like you, like I mentioned last night at the event that we were at, like having Heroes League and somewhere to go to get away from being a mom and being a business owner and just going back to like hooping and having fun, that's special. And it's definitely needed, like that space. Yes.
Thank you. Yes. And that is the plug. If you are a woman looking to play basketball.
Exactly. Heroes League.
Heroes League, yes. And I love, that is how we originally connected, right? And again, like you said, the people that you have around you, and identifying who can actually add value to you and you can add value to them. Yeah. And I love, that's what we're doing. I'm going to shout out Jackie too, because Jackie's the best, as far as allowing us this space to talk in this forum on a sports level. But you've got to see firsthand, even in, this relationship here, okay, yeah, we played basketball, but now we're wanting to move mountains, right, together, and through mediums and platforms and things that we're able to do. So I appreciate you very much. Let's shift gears a little bit more. Let me see. I have my notes. Since you grew up here in Las Vegas, what do you think about just, I guess, the climate of the women's basketball here? And I know, again, I'm front lines too. It's almost political,
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to get a little spicy.
Okay, get spicy. I'm here for it.
Okay, because I know I'll even say territorial, right? And I've never had the opportunity to speak on a platform, but I think, we should start talking about it because I hear in the corners of the gyms, how programs are run and how coaches are doing things. And I think everyone has an opinion about things, but you being a, athlete here and now an actual coach, what do you feel like Las Vegas women's basketball looks like, and what do you want it to look like?
Well, first and foremost, so I graduated high school 2013. So at that point, we didn't have as many AAU clubs as we do now.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So yeah, I first and foremost want to give it up to all the coaches that have took their time out to gather these girls up and get basketball going out here, because Las Vegas is the perfect place to have young girls. I mean, especially with the Aces and different organizations like ours. It's just great to have basketball here.
I love that.
Yes.
Shout out the coaches.
Before we get into the spiciness
shout
of
out to the
everything,
coaches. Yes, let's talk a bit just a moment about that positivity, because I run the league, I get a lot of negativity from everybody wants to start a program, and I love your perspective on it. Why not? Yeah. Why wouldn't we want to get more girls involved in the sport and getting them exposed to it? And I love that attitude, and I hope everybody adopts that if we just do it with synergy and positivity, everybody can exist. Because it turns into this war. Yes. And girls turn into these pieces. Yes. That's my girl, and you stole her, and you took her, and I'm like, oh no, these are 12-year-old girls. Yeah. So I love it. I love that you have that attitude. So let's just put that out there. Club coaches, let's all just get along. You're doing an amazing thing, and we can all do amazing things together. Yeah. So there's that. Now, to kind of continue that about.
Yeah. I mean, into the nature of basketball here, I think sometimes coaches do get territorial about girls, and they feel like, well, she's been playing with me for this long and now you want to go over here, or possibly I have this relationship with you, and now because kids want to make decisions for themselves about where they want to go in life, and maybe it's not with you, that they're kind of upset about it. For me, and this is why I started Master the Game. Okay. This is about the kids.
Absolutely.
Their ultimate goal is to get a college scholarship.
Yep, that's why they do it.
Yes, and that's what we should want for them as coaches and as mentors. Yes, we want to be a part of their process, and yes, we want to coach the best. If they make a decision to go elsewhere because they feel like that can further them or get them to their goal, then we should allow them to do that and support them in that. We may be upset about it, which is okay. It's natural. We're all human beings. But at the end of the day, if this is about the kids and not about us as coaches just wanting to get wins, then we should be okay with that. And we should welcome that. And be honest, too. If you can't provide that, then you shouldn't be really upset if their parents and, their kids want to go elsewhere. Because, I mean, that's the nature of the business, especially when you go to college now. Yeah. The kids need to understand right now that when they get there, things have changed. Yeah. You're on a year-to-year contract. Yeah. These coaches don't have to re-sign you. And those are hard conversations to have. So as opposed to making it a difficult situation, make it a learning thing. Okay. So have your kids in there and say, okay, well, what is it that you want to do? Yeah. So here's your vision. Also, something that we do with Master the Game is we have them build out their vision. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I love that. What kind of coach do you want to play for? What kind of teammates do you want to have around you? All these different things, so that when you go recruiting or you get on these campuses, you know what you're looking for, so you're not just randomly buying into it or feeding into what college coaches, because coaches are going to tell you what they have to tell you to get you on campus.
They have their own agenda, for sure.
Yeah, and it's really hard to find coaches that are all about you, but they're out there, definitely. I'm not saying that they're completely selfish, but it is a business. Sure. So you have to learn how to navigate it, and coaches out here in Vegas, we can use this as a opportunity to help them learn and grow if we look at it from that perspective.
Absolutely. I love that. And even too, like you were talking about the fact that these, there's been so much focus on training, you are definitely tapping into this not talked about part of the basketball recruiting process, and then also on that mental side. And even then transitioning into, like you keep saying, it is a business, right? And so let's talk about that a little bit more too, about how you transitioned from your basketball mindset into your business mindset.
Yeah. So honestly, I took everything that I've learned through basketball and I just applied it to business.
I love that.
So
because we want to win, right?
Yes.
And I think, we were just, sorry not to cut you off,
Yeah.
but, and I want to talk a little bit about the event last night, but every woman that I had talked to, a lot of us are used to be athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically where we felt that, we gave our life to basketball and we wanted to win, and then basketball kind of ended. And so we still have so much to give and so much we want to do, but we're like, where do we win at?
Yeah.
And so business is that next kind of natural step, but it's like, how do we get into business?
Yeah.
How do we succeed in business? We knew how to win in basketball.
Yeah.
I'll be at the gym first to show up, last to leave, be coachable, be mentorable, but now business. But I love it. It's the same mindset.
Yeah.
You just got to translate that to business.
And I'm glad you bring that up, because I was saying this earlier too. Everything that you learn is transferable to life. So the biggest thing, I think, like graduating from college, most girls, if you're not the top and you're not going to the league or you're not going to a Power 5 conference, you don't want to fall through the cracks. You don't want to end up graduating and have this degree that you can't use because you spent 15 years of your life playing basketball.
Right.
And a lot of girls don't realize that those skills that you learned on your team and in this basketball and sports industry transfers to any job.
Okay.
So that's why most business people that may not be sports people love athletes.
Yeah.
Because we know how to communicate. We know how to work in teams.
Disciplined.
Yep. We're disciplined. We're competitive.
Yeah.
And if you can figure out how to have that communication to market yourself in that way,
right.
And that's what we're providing kids.
Yeah.
We're giving them the tools and the rhetoric to be able to communicate. Okay, I'm an athlete. I may not have the experience on my resume like that you can see, but every place that I've been, I've learned all of these things. Yeah. So you can put me into any situation and I'm going to thrive,
right.
because that's what we learn as basketball,
it's
as
already
basketball
our DNA.
Players. Yes.
Absolutely. I love it. So a little bit, I know we were at the event last night, and I have to shout out my shirt. It says Her Story. We had our event, Her Story, a shirt made by Print Lab, Obstacle Clothing, Women of Impact was there. Did you have a good time?
I did. It was amazing.
Okay.
Vibes, everything, all the women, it was great.
Okay. And that's one of the other things that you're trying to do to kind of just help yourself get out there and let people know about your organization.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything upcoming that you're going to be a part of, or what's your plans?
So we're going to build out different types of programs for parents. So we're going to have parent sessions that help them navigate everything, pretty much AAU basketball self-improvement, because a lot of what I found is that parents don't really know how to navigate this space.
Right.
A lot of parents are new, especially if you didn't have an older child that's already been through the process. You don't really know what to expect or where to take it or what to tell your kid, how to handle challenges. So we're going to have parent sessions to kind of educate them on the process of recruiting, process of helping your kid through challenges, what to communicate through them when things get hard. And then we're also going to have yoga sessions. We're going to teach mindfulness to the kids. So every way that they need, we're going to show up for them. Amazing. And partner with different women around Las Vegas.
And where can we find all of that information?
Again, follow us on Instagram, Master the Game LV. And then I'll probably have a newsletter coming out, and I'll just try to get it out to as many organizations and women that we can.
Okay. So Instagram, Master the Game LV.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. And is there anything else you want to say as far as being here?
Well, I definitely appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on. And one thing that I want to say to all the athletes, boys or girls, because I coached boys for a little while, and I think this applies to them as well. Take ownership over your process. So a lot of people will tell you that you have to be doing this or that, or maybe they're helping you with their confidence, and you don't completely align with what they're saying, or you're struggling in different places. If you take ownership and you say, I'm going to commit to doing these things daily, and I'm going to commit to the process, even if I know that it's not going to be instant, it's not microwavable, it's not going to happen overnight, that I'm going to get what I want.
Amen.
When you take that approach to it, then there's no denying you. So operate out of confidence and trust and faith, and you will get everything that you desire.
Amen. I love it. So thank you, Miss Bre,
you
for coming. Remember, follow Master the Game LV on Instagram. There's going to be a lot of things coming up. I know we're going to be partnering on a lot of things. We also have an all-star game.
Yes.
She's still actively playing, so in the league and everything. So we'll be doing that later. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about that as well. But yes, thank you for watching. Again, my name is Jennifer Gonzalez with Sports Highlight Her, and I want to remind you as well, do not forget to, if you are a woman out there, that your story needs to be told. So you can apply for this TheSheMeansBusinessMasterss Society. We're looking for you for your beautiful story. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening the She Means Business Master Society podcast. We will see you in the next episode.